don't have to go even to a studio, and you don't need even 60 minutes a day. Nobody's asking a yogi to go become a hermit in the mountains, but it's just about how can I devote maybe 15 minutes in my day to maybe breathe a little bit consciously? Can I take 5 minutes and meditate? And meditating again, there's just, I like being contributing within whatever my role is, but then I like just whatever else I have in my life. For me, being a business owner or being an entrepreneur was always going to be that my life is going to end once I do that, because it's just, and you would know it. You just assume. He keeps joking. He's like, you can always add me to the trade license. You can always add me as a partner.
He is your
So
partner, actually. He is.
it's exactly what I tell him. I'm like, you are my partner in life and everything. So, you don't need another piece of paper to verify that. Okay.
Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Monday Talks, Daniel Tokath, and I'm sharing a new story, having a great guest, great story. So don't forget to subscribe and to get more and learn more from others and their stories. So today we have a special guest as usual, and it's like she's the combination in passion between yoga and marketing. Her name is Manuja Sharma, the founder and the creative director and marketing consulting, yoga and well-being. So would like to welcome her to our show and start by saying, hi, Manuja.
Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Great, great. Thank you for being with us.
I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. So let's start by you defining or introducing yourself. Who is Manuja?
Great question. Who battles with that every day? Who am I? But yes, so I'm Manuja. I have lived in Dubai now for about 15 years in total. I worked across in marketing for 12 years. And like you also mentioned, so marketing is something that I think I live and breathe every day. It's why I started my own studio called Nuja Inc., which is a marketing consultancy as well as agency. Also found, I wouldn't say my true calling, but I found the joy I get in teaching yoga. So I'm a 200-hour certified yoga instructor. I teach part-time, and it's just something which gives me a lot of, I think, gratitude in life. So that's me. I also have a passion for animals. So we have
Hmm.
3 dogs, 2 cats, and 4 tortoises at home right now.
Oh
Soon to
boy.
open, I think, our own animal sanctuary. But it's just something I'm deeply passionate about.
Interesting. So I would love to know what is the combination between yoga and marketing? How is it going together? Or this is like personal hobby and this is what you like in business? Can you talk more
So
about that?
of course. Marketing and I think communication is something that I knew I wanted to pursue as my profession for very long, since I was pretty much in high school. I knew I wanted to do something which was something in the creative field as well as connecting with people. And I've always found marketing to be that source of inspiration in life, because I truly believe everything can be marketable, and everything should be able to connect at the end of the day with consumers. And that's what I think marketing does. It's not about selling a product or service, but it's just about amplifying how my service, my company, my product, me, myself, how can I make my end users or clients' lives better. That's it. That's marketing for me. So that's how I've worked through my different roles in my corporate career. And that's exactly how I wanted to found and I wanted to create my own company, which is just helping brands be better aware of who their customers are and how do we better connect with them. Yoga, as so I've always been a fairly active person. Again, right from school, uni, and beyond that, there was always a sport that I was playing. I love just being physically and mentally active. And with a lot of functional training, I started doing yoga. And this was me just practicing or going to classes, or my friend used to host yoga classes. So I used to love enjoying doing yoga, but just by chance, at my previous place of work, a couple of my friends and colleagues asked if I can just run a very simple yoga, sorry, yoga for beginners workshop for them. And I told them I don't know how to. I don't teach yoga. I just enjoy doing yoga. But that informal session with them made me realize how much they enjoyed it, but more importantly, how much I enjoyed teaching it. And in about less than 48 hours, I found a teaching certification course that I liked, that seemed genuine and authentic here in Dubai. I signed up, and this was about 2 years ago. And since then, it's just been an incredible journey trying to combine this connecting with people, which I think is marketing's form and function, and yoga, which is not just about your physical practice, but also connecting within yourself, finding your own center, finding your own peace. And I don't think people would correlate it, but I think it's definitely correlated. Yoga helps you
Yeah.
just be a little more balanced, know yourself better, and that's a great tool to have when you're actually marketing something.
Okay. Do you believe yoga can change lives? I mean, how yoga affected your life?
I'm definitely very partial to it. So I do think yoga can change lives because one of the first misconceptions about yoga is that, to do yoga, I have to be able to do a headstand or a full split, or that's what yoga is, that I need to be able to do 100 downward dogs. But when I especially did my teacher training course, it opened my eyes that actually yoga is a lot more. The physical practice is just one aspect of it. And there's something, a quote that resonates with me, which one of the instructors had said, which was, if you can breathe, you can do yoga. And I wholly, solely believe that, because yoga is, if nothing, it's trying to bring some sense of harmony within your body and your mind. And the easiest and the only way to do that is with your breath. So you don't have to go even to a studio, and you don't need even 60 minutes a day. Nobody's asking a yogi to go become a hermit in the mountains, but it's just about how can I devote maybe 15 minutes in my day to maybe breathe a little bit consciously. Can I take 5 minutes and meditate? And meditating, again, there's just so many different misconceptions and preconceived notions about what meditation means, but it's nothing. It's not that you don't have any thoughts in your mind, but it's just bringing a little bit of focus into your mind. And I think the
Mhm.
physical practice as well, if nothing, just invigorates you, and it keeps you active and happy, everything about endorphins being released. So I definitely think it changes lives.
Mm. So you are an instructor at Yoga Ashram, right?
Yes.
So you help people build strength, mobility, inner acceptance through movement, breathing. How has that um, aspect of your life influenced your approach to business? And Do you find any parallels between guiding individuals in their yoga practice and guiding them also in their business journey? I mean, how do you build up the same alignment you had between your business and yoga to other people?
It's really interesting, Daniel. You're the first person who's asked me that because there are just so many parallels,
Mm,
and there are because I think again, yoga and instructing or teaching, say a yoga class, say there are eight students or eight clients in class. Every one of those eight have different capabilities, have different reasons to come to this class, are at different levels in their yoga practice. For someone, it just might be their first yoga class ever. For someone, it's their 10th year of practicing yoga and they're just coming to class to make sure they have that discipline and the regular yoga practice in their lives. And I think clients are similar. Clients, team members, basically individuals. If you have eight clients, they are vastly different and they are each unique in their own positions, in their own business objectives, in their acceptance of what it is that they need and what it is that they're looking for. So I think the ability to be able to identify that and then help people according to their unique perspective and needs is what you need in a yoga class, where you sort of give variations or you give modifications as per people's capabilities. And it's the same thing, say, while consulting or while helping clients with their marketing needs. So someone might have 100,000 dirham budget because they want to go big and go home, or they have that large scale budget for an event, for example. And you might have someone who's been running a business for the last couple of years and just needs help maybe consolidating all of this, or just needs help understanding what their digital presence should even be like. And you can't have a cookie cutter approach in either a yoga class or in marketing.
okay. Now going back to Manuja, the person, how does it feel like to be an entrepreneur? This is like one part of the question.
Mm-hmm.
And the second part, were you doing it alone or someone was behind you, supporting and pushing you towards, yes, you can do it? Or what was your moving or motivation behind this decision?
I'll start with your second question because it builds up to the story of what it feels like to be an entrepreneur. So I'll give you a little bit background about me. So I have worked only across corporate marketing and pretty much brand side my entire life. And I have worked in some incredible companies with incredible teams. And if even a year ago, Daniel would have come up to me and said, Manuja, I think this is a great opportunity for you to branch out and open your own studio or your own agency, I would have laughed along with you because it's not something, for a really long time, I believed that it's not my aspiration. I am not cut out for it. It's not my thing. I like to have my corporate role. I like to have my team. I like to have this global network of colleagues all over the world. And I like being contributing within whatever my role is. But then I like just whatever else I have in my life. For me, being a business owner or being an entrepreneur was always going to be that my life is going to end once I do that, because it's just, and you would know it, you just assume that it just takes over your entire life. And I just thought this is not something that I want to do. I'm the first entrepreneur in my family. My entire family, I can't say, just very corporate, uh, father C level somewhere, brother C level somewhere. So it's just not something which I would even say runs in my blood. But How Nuja Inc. did come about, and it wasn't an overnight decision, and this is not something you do decide in a day. But one person that has definitely egged me on the most, who in this aspect is my complete opposite, is my husband. So he's a serial entrepreneur, really well established, very successful, and he has just been an impartial pillar of support, but tough love and just guidance when I needed it, even after starting. But he always thought that whatever that I'm doing within my roles, he just knew how much more I would flourish or just be happier doing this by myself. So I would definitely shout out to him because in his head, I think 5 years ago, he was like, "You should have started this, and you are built for this." And he kept egging me on. So there was that tiny little seed planted very long ago, which I kept dismissing. But I think it wasn't until I knew and I decided for myself when I felt ready, which was I knew that I have a great network that I have built for myself. I have, and by network, it wasn't just about where am I getting my next client from, but it was network of people I could reach out for help, for mentoring, for days where, you just need some support and guidance, for people you can reach out to when you want to look for great talent. So I think the day I realized I'm confident with that network of people and supporters around me was the day I decided that, yes, I'm going to quit my lovely job and start this studio.
So
Yep, tell me.
your backbone is your husband.
100%.
Cool. So when do you feel, or can you share with us a moment where you felt like your weakest point is now, and you need his interference or his guidance, or why I am here at the first place, or did that happen? What was the most difficult moment in your life moving into entrepreneur, or in general, any moment you felt like it hurts so much?
I think I can vouch for most entrepreneurs that everyone would have felt that at some point in their lives. It is truly a roller coaster. So we all have incredible ups and downs. So I've had mine as well. I think one of the initial ones that I clearly and very vividly remember is it was maybe a couple of weeks after I'd given my notice, and I'd resigned, and I knew, okay, this is real. Simultaneously, I was already working on, getting the license and paperwork sorted. And it was probably a week before my last day at my previous place of work, where there was just this overwhelming sense of dread and what am I doing with my life? I mean, I do, and I worked with some incredible colleagues, and I was like, I'm not going to see these people every day. I'm not going to have this um, role, this stability, which is just such a comfort that you have that, great, I know exactly what I'm doing. I have my salary fixed at the end of every month. And what am I doing? Because I have no idea that how do you run a business? Theoretically, I do. I had worked on a white paper or a business plan, and I had it on an Excel sheet or a PowerPoint. But I was like, a week later from now, when I don't come here for work, what am I going to do? Because it was either 100 things that you have to do, or it was like, where do I start from? And I just remember having essentially a breakdown where I called him, and everything that I just said, I said to the phone, I said to him over the phone that, what am I doing, babe? Like, I'm not cut out for this. And this is the biggest step I have taken, not just in my professional life, in my life, that this is the biggest step I have taken. And there, even your vanilla things, like, okay, great, I know exactly what money I need to make to break even, to run a profit, and what is my first step? How is that outreach? And it was essentially a rant. And he is generally a very impatient person, but I think he was just he let me just let it all out, and then he was pretty much reminded me. He's like, just breathe, think it through, of remind yourself why you're doing this, remind yourself why where you are right now, and it might feel stable and comfortable, but it doesn't feel enough for you to grow. And he said, again, things like Rome wasn't built in a day. You have a plan, you have it sorted. I am a very organized person. Like, my it's almost obsessive how organized I am. And he's like, you have everything planned out. It might not work out as it's exactly planned out, but you have a blueprint and you have a roadmap. And he said, you're not doing this alone. You might not have your exact team around you, but you have people around you who are gunning for you, who are so proud of you, and who are so excited for you, that you're not going to be alone, and you'll know exactly what to do, and you can figure this out. And it sounds so cliched, and it sounds like nothing extraordinary, but sometimes that's all you need to hear.
It's good. Good interference, really. He's like give you the right words to move on with it.
Yes.
Do you have any regret?
Any regrets? Oh, none. I mean, maybe starting this earlier, but that's not even a regret.
So
I'm
you love him more now.
he likes to take credit for me just starting. And we have this internal joke where, obviously, when I was applying for the license, and he kept, because he genuinely has helped me so much, and he still to this date helps me so much with this, by just being my person. And he keeps joking. He's like, you can always add me to the trade license. You can always add me as a partner.
He is your
So
partner, actually. He
it's,
is.
it's exactly what I tell him. I'm like, you are my partner in life and everything. So, you don't need another piece of paper to verify that.
What was the now after you moved and you have your own business and the trade license under your name, it's a big transition in your life. What do you think is the biggest success factor that drives you into bigger and more success in your life as an entrepreneur?
Mhm. I can say things like, so on days where you feel, again, there are days full, not full, but days where doubt creeps in, that, am I doing this right? Is this too fast? Is this too slow? There are things which every entrepreneur looks at, which might be growth or scale. How well is this entity of mine running? So there are certain things like that where I look back, and in 6 months, if we've managed to work with at least 12 different clients, I think that's been a great success, or just a great tick for me and the team over here, where there's never been a day where this feels like, wow, this is so quiet, and what are we doing next? So we've been, I wouldn't say lucky, because I love this quote where it says, I think it's by Thomas Jefferson, but it's like, the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. So I wouldn't say that we've been lucky getting and working with these incredible clients. There's a lot of hard work and effort that goes into getting these clients, but that's definitely been a great success. But I'll tell you something which really touched my heart and which is really close to me, which a team member of mine. So we're a small team. We're a team of about 5 right now and slowly growing. But I have this thing where every fortnight I just check in with each one of them. And it's not a formal sit down, but it's an informal check-in. But like, how is life, Daniel? What's been good? What's been bad? In life or at work? Is there anything that you need help with? So it really is just literally checking in with each and every one of my team members because I think that's so important to have a great team that you trust and that trusts you back. And I'll never ever forget one of my team members in one of her check-ins. So I asked her, like, how's it going? How's work been? And how are you feeling? And she said something about and she's also worked in Dubai for a fair amount of time. And she pointed out, she's like, this is the first time in my work life that I feel safe. And it just took me back. And I'm like, what do you mean you feel safe? And she's like, you have managed to create this safe environment for us. And safe in terms of I can share what I want to share. I feel safe to make a mistake and not be, reprimanded for it immediately. I feel safe that I can actually ask and learn for more things, but I can also feel safe coming up and telling you where I might not be able to meet your certain expectation for something for whatever reason. And if there is a way we can work around it. But she said, I've never felt safe in a working place. And I think as an entrepreneur, that has been my biggest success and the biggest, I would say, I don't know, compliment that I've got so far.
Oh, very interesting. So you find your skill with managing people is like exciting and more of you. Just one honest question. If it wasn't your husband who pushes you into this, could you imagine you will do it?
No, I don't even have to think about it. I mean, no, for now. I don't know. Who knows? 5 years down the line, maybe. But if it wasn't for him, would I have started this right now? No.
Cool. All right. How about ending up with 2 questions?
Sure.
Give us 2 things that are still there in your bucket list.
Still there in my bucket list. See, that's my problem. I don't have a bucket list.
No, really?
No. I think I have things that I want to feel and experience, but they aren't so far-fetched, so I just go and do them.
Hmm.
So it might be, oh, I wanted to skydive, so I did a skydive. Oh, I wanted to go see this concert, so I just went and saw the concert. So,
Mhm.
but I
What's
think
next?
what's next is, I think once in my life, I would like to actually just not leave everything, but I am a hermit somewhere deep inside. So I would like to, at a stretch, I've never done that, at a stretch, just completely disconnect for a month
Hmm.
where I am not alone. Hopefully, my husband agrees with me on my hermit mission, but I am just wherever it is that we are there. So no phones, no laptop, no internet, no emails. I would love to be able to disconnect for a month.
Mhm. Interesting. Okay. Second question. Can you name one habit that you look to gain and another one to get rid of in 2023?
Okay. One habit I would like to get rid of, I'll start with that, is doubting myself lesser. I think becoming an entrepreneur has helped already because you can't continuously be doubting yourself. So that's already, I think, made huge strides. But definitely, I think everyone always has those two voices in their head, the one which supports you and the one which doesn't. So I would consciously I do listen more to my positive angel on my shoulder, but I'd like to start listening to that voice even more. One habit I'd like to gain is, so I'm an early riser on most days. I'm generally up between 5:30 a.m.
Oh,
I would just like to, on most days, but I think a habit I'd like to gain is to consistently do that.
interesting. Very nice. Okay, one last thing. You have the mic.
Mhm.
What would be your concluding message? What would you like to say to the world?
I think, firstly, thank you for just giving me this platform. And like I mentioned to you earlier, I genuinely appreciate and like Monday Talks because there isn't any hidden agenda. They're just authentic. And to be able to just have this conversation with you has been incredibly fun and a great start to my morning. And secondly, I think there's no grand message out to everyone, but I would really like if there's one thing anybody hearing or watching this to take away is that be grateful for the good in your life. And if there's something in your life that is stopping you or that you'd like to change, if you can change it, just go for it. Don't wait. Don't wait for, there is no signal, there is no right time, there is no, I don't know, auspicious date for you to take that step. If there's anything holding you back and if it's within your control to change it today.
Amazing. Super cool. That was Monday Talks putting a light on Manuja Sharma. She had a magnificent story and she had a lot of dreams and yet to come. Well, we have to say thank you, Manuja, for being our guest today. And for you, our viewers, keep watching and supporting me. I appreciate your subscribe and hitting the bell. And see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you, Manuja.
Thanks.